Time to catch up with Gordon Elliott. A race he's won 3 times. Tiger Roll, everybody remembers him twice, but Silver Birch, you remember him because he propelled your career where I think at the time you hadn't trained a winner in Ireland.
That's right, Niall. Yeah, no winner in Ireland at the time. I think I had 3 winners in Scotland. But look, yeah, it was a day I'll never forget. Probably didn't appreciate it much at the time, but a day I'll never forget.
Probably changed a lot since then, the race. You know, at the minute, Broadway Boy's last one in, and he's a rate of 150. Yeah,
it just goes to show how good of a race it was. I think when Silver Birch got in, he was only in the mid-130s at the time, you know what I mean? But yeah, look, that's the race it's got to be, so that's where we are.
Conflated, Delta work, they've been there before, obviously ran well in the race last year.
Yeah, obviously Delta was second in the race, ran a great race, you know, obviously Max was a very good winner. But Delta, look, has been the plan all year, he's in good form again. Galvin was 4th in the race, came home very strong. You know, we probably won't conflate it. He's dropped a lot in the handicap, so it'll be interesting to see what way he is with the national weights. Phil Doherty could be interesting. You know, he's a classy horse. First time over that trip, but I think it'll suit him.
Further down 3-card Bragg, but he maybe needs a bit of luck. About 18, 19 now.
Yeah. I think someone said he needs 16 or 18 to come out. So look, it'll be down to the wire with him. But of a normal year, you'd imagine he would get in, but you just never know.
Galvin is ground dependent, isn't he?
Galvin probably, the better the ground, the better chance he has. But he's absolutely bombing at home. You know, he was second in the American Grand National. He was 4th here, coming home very strong last year. I think he's a good nick at home and looking forward to him. 4
weeks away from Cheltenham, and we're talking all Randox Grand National today. But Cheltenham string all right?
Good form. Booked a few after racing in Navan the other day. You know, another 4 weeks to go, so plenty to happen. But really looking forward to it.
Good stuff. Good to see you here. We'll speak later.
Thanks, Niall. Cheers.
And the man who will be unveiling the weights at 3 o'clock today is Martin Greenwood. Look at the list of horses. It looks a classy renewal.
Yeah, there's plenty of good quality horses this year. I think with 41 rated above 150, which is the best since 2020, and certainly one of the better years in recent times for quality.
Yeah, and just counting down through, it looks like last year you need to be 146. Might just be north of that this year with the close gap between Cheltenham and the entry.
Yeah, possibly 55th on the list. Equivalent day last year got you in, and it's looking like that's going to be very similar this year. So about mid 140s we're going to be looking at, I think.
What horses were the hardest to assess?
Not too many hard ones. There's a couple that are different from their Irish marks. Delta Work is one of them, and Stumptown, a cross-country winner, was the other. But I've just played the same sort of way I do any race, really. So just stuck to the principles and, you know, common sense. Hopefully that'll work out.
We'll see marks later on. Delta Work ran well at Cheltenham last time out. Caught the eye?
It did, yeah. Obviously, it was a stewards' inquiry. I think everyone in racing knows that. Obviously, he was second off 157 last year. Hadn't run quite near that this year so far, but obviously ran pretty well under a Never Nearer ride last time that caught the eye of the stewards.
£1 million prize money, fences modified, slightly smaller field. It's just got a different feel to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a very high quality handicap these days, and I think both trainers on both sides of the sea are now running more younger, unexposed horses. It's also attracting former Grade 1 listed winners, you know, Brave Man's Game, Long Press, etc., Envoy Island, for just to name a few. Yeah, so I think it's going to develop into just a massively high quality handicap, which it already is to a degree, of course, but I think it's probably going to get stronger and stronger.
Yes, even since you remember Neptune Colon's in around that year 23 years ago, hard to believe, he was like 3rd behind Denman Caught Star. Sort of since then you've seen them sort of quality animals.
Yeah, I don't think every year is going to see that every time. I think we're going to get, I mean, Jerry Colombo obviously was entered as well, second in the Gold Cup, obviously was scratched straight afterwards, but yeah, I can only see this race getting a bigger and better quality every year.
Good stuff. We'll speak to me after 3 o'clock.
Absolutely.
One of the most talked about horses ahead of this year's Randox Grand National is Iroko, trained by Odegrino and Josh Guerrero. How is he?
Yeah, he's in good form. Jumped well yesterday. He's all set. He's going to have another run before the race. You know, obviously the only concern is probably the lack of experience over fences. So we just want to see how he goes next time before we make the final decision. But he's always has jumped well. He was unlucky at Ascot. Just put a spanner in the works, really. But yeah, let's just see how he goes on his next run. Then we'll make a plan.
And Josh, after his first run, he had a bit of a setback and lacking experience. Something that, you know, rightly has been said, but he looks like he's been really good. Even Cheltenham last time, it's up and down, etc. He looks sure-footed.
Exactly, yeah, and he always has been. Cheltenham was perfect, really, just with the undulating track coming down the hill, especially over the 2.5 miles. It had him on the limit the whole way, and I think he'd have learned a lot. So, yeah, I think he'll be fine, hopefully.
Your family, Lord Dorsby, steeped in the intrigue. This race is the most famous race in the world, jump race in the world. For you, that's extra special, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I grew up 20 minutes from the track. It was always the race course we went to as children. Dad was chairman there for over 25 years, and yeah, it was always very close to his heart and ours. I rode over the fences, didn't quite win, but finished second. Thomas, my older brother, won and rode in the Grand National as well. So yeah, it'd be a fantastic race to win.
And between now and then, you say he's got an option of one of the two.
Yeah, exactly. Kempton next Saturday or Kelso the following Saturday. Just see how it is in the next couple of weeks. But Kelso's probably preference. But apparently Great Orleans going there, so just have to see and have a think about it and talk to JP.
And if you had to go there fresh, would that bother you?
Yeah, I think we need another run.
Yeah.
It would have been a long time since he ran. He's a big, strong horse, and he just needs that track experience.
And for you two, you're building in quality year on year, but this year would just fast track that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's like everyone knows, it's a nightmare of a race. You know, like it's obviously a dream, but we need to be realistic about it as well.
Quality-wise, I mentioned you're building. Just to get a horse that gets a special, it's hard.
Exactly, and we're very lucky we've got the connection with Ollie's dad that buys them as foals, so it gives us priority on buying them if we can. Yeah, all our best horses seem to be from there, but we seem to be getting some nicer ones now and competing at top level, which is good.
Yeah, it is good. You're doing a great job, Adam. Wish the Perry the very best of luck.
Thank you. Many thanks, man.
Candu Kid, is he the best place to start out of the five? You've trained him for this after the Girl Trophy, haven't you?
Oh, he's a right colour anyway. I mean, last year when he ran in the top and ran very well, jumped very well, stayed on strong, could have done with another circuit then. I just said to Harry that next year I'm going to train him for the Coral Gold Cup, what was the Hennessy, and the National. And so far the first bit's gone right. He'd won the Coral Gold Cup first time out, and we've just kept him purposely fresh. We may give him one run before, we've just got yet to decide for sure.
Hampton week Saturday?
Possibly, yeah. That would fit in nicely programme-wise. Or if it was a week later at Newbury, one or the other. I wouldn't run on a very testing ground, so we'll just see what's what. I mean, he's good fresh, so it's not essential. But a run this time would be good, and he's in really good shape.
Braveman's game. Hopefully we'll see at 3 o'clock what weight he's got, but hopefully he's given him a chance because he just hasn't looked, maybe excuses this year, but he hasn't looked as good.
Well, no, he hasn't. You know, he obviously won his King George place in King George. He's ran very well in the Gold Cup, but sort of like plateaued a little bit there. I think he always overachieved. You know, he wasn't quite a Denman or a Cordo star, and he achieved some really good things for a horse that he was. And he's probably just flattered out a little bit now. He was 157. I'm guessing he'd probably be down 1 to 156 or 155 after Saturday. And he's a class horse like Neptune was, having won all those good races running in a national. So in some ways, he's got a bit of a profile of Neptune. Although I always knew Neptune was a real dour stayer, you'd have to have doubt possibly whether he will stay that far, but he ran very well in the Betfair Chase this year and was staying on really strongly and really testing ground. So he's got class. He'll love the jumping, that's for sure. And whoever rides him will have a fantastic ride.
Hitman would be a good spin, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I expect Freddie will ride him. He always gets a good tune out of him. He's very much like Braveman's Game. Ran very well Saturday in the Denman Chase. That's as far as he's probably ever gone, but who knows, he might like the challenge of that. He jumps well. He's a character, and I'd put those two got the same sort of chance.
Stay away, Faye. Sort of a couple of years ago, you were thinking that Grand National written all over him.
Yeah, well, I always thought that, and when the new lads bought him, that's what I was thinking. But it just hasn't worked out yet. He's had a few niggly problems. Haven't had him right yet. He had one run over hurdles at Christmas, had another little setback, but he's back fine now. He's in good shape. He scored very well yesterday. I need to get one more chase run into him before March 18th, which I'm sure we can do. He's in at Cheltenham. I just hope we don't run out of time this year, and we'll be back here talking about him next year.
13 years on since Neptune Cologne. Time that Paul Nicholls got that name back in the £1 million Randox Grand National.
That'll be nice, and we've got another first reserve, and then we haven't mentioned 300 through 5. Of course, he ran well in the Scottish National.
He'd want good ground, wouldn't he?
That's the problem with him. He probably wants good ground. He runs his Saturday at Ascot, and we have got the option, and particularly Max and his family have got another runner in the race. Yeah, he's an intended runner, so we could wait for Ayr the following weekend. So he's one we've got to make a plan the other time. But if he did go to Aintree, he'll stay forever, and goodish ground would suit him. But it is a question whether it's there or Ayr.
Strong team, really.
Well, it's nice to have a strong. I haven't had a runner for a while and no entrance for a while, but I've always been the opinion now you've got to wait till you've got the right horses, and I like to think this year we have got a really good team.
Good stuff. Wish you well.
Thank you very much.
Well, here he is, Willie Mullins. He's got 10 at the minute in the Randox Grand National, including last year's winner, I Am Maximus. How is he?
He's a good form. Ran fine at the Dublin Racing Festival in the Gold Cup, the Irish Gold Cup. I thought ran well enough. He'll have to put in a better performance, I think, in the Bobby Joe to be back to his best, I think.
To be an £8 better horse than last year.
Yeah, I'm just hoping maturity, age, all that factor, and the fact that he has experience of the track now. He loved it last year. Lots of horses don't like it when they come back the second time, but I think this guy's different. I think he'll like it. He had a great run. He had the run of the race last year as well. So if he can manage to do all that, he has a great chance.
You've got a great backup team as well. Nick Rocket, he looks a proper horse. I was talking he might be supplemented or could be supplemented for a Gold Cup.
There was talk about that, but I mean, he looks made for this. He won at the Estes. I would be thinking that this is where he should run.
Especially with a 2.5 week gap between them.
It's going to be tough. I think I'm going to try and train him for this race anyhow.
And it's been the Estes Chase has been a great prep for this race.
Always is. We've prepped him for the Grand National, and I think to me, that's the race he has a real winning chance in.
Greens Clare West.
Another one, his run in the Irish Gold Cup sort of said to us that he probably should take his chance in Cheltenham. We will see. I'll have a word with Cheveley Park with Richard Thompson and see what he wants to do. I'll leave it probably up to them, but he has an each-way chance in either race.
Appreciate it. Capodanno, Manelica, Cooler, Meeting of the Waters are all guaranteed a run.
They are. Appreciated came back to form on very good ground in Thurles the last day, over 2.5 miles. I think he'll stay. If the ground comes up really nice in Liverpool, he might take his chance there. Manilica Cooner won the 365 last year in Sandown. He had a nice run at Leopardstown in the Irish Gold Cup. I think he has his chance. Meeting of the Waters, I thought was nice deal of the weights.
Yeah.
And he was running really well last year. I think, if you stopped the picture at the second last or even going to the last, you would have given him a life. Yeah. So another year under his belt, mature. He has every chance of being very good.
Hearts and Dairy looks like he'll get in.
Yes, Ransu Dairy had 2 nice runs in the Kerry National last year and 1 race after that. But I think good ground is the key to him. Yeah. But he's a horse that'll jump around there, no problem. We'll see.
And McDermott and Spanish Harlem, at the minute they might struggle to get in.
They won't get in, I think, going on past history of the race. I left out 1 horse there. Can you think of it? You mentioned it.
Maximus, Greens Clare West, Nick Rocket, appreciated. Capodanno, McKenna.
Capodanno, did we talk about him? He ran well. Yeah. He didn't have a great prep 2 years ago. Better prep last year, ran well. He has a chance to.
A strong team.
A lovely team, yes. So, we'd have horses at the top and horses at the bottom, so you need luck.
You do.
Thanks very much.
Quick line, Cheltenham 4 weeks away. All happy with them at home?
Fingers crossed, everything going well. Everything came out well at the Dublin Racing Festival. I don't have any bad news. That's very unfortunate that Sergino went, and I know those little injuries, we've had them at home. They look nothing. 2 days later, they don't respond to medication, and next thing you're in a bit more bother, and it's tough when it happens to a really good horse like that. Tough any day.
We wish you a clear run from Cheltenham to entering the rest of the season. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much now. Thanks.
There's plenty of people giving out about the way it's gone, but it is the flagship race in our sport, like the Derby, I suppose. More so the Derby, I think. It's like the FA Cup, it's like the Open, it's like Wimbledon. They're British institutions, and I think we're lucky in our sport to have a race that is an institution of British society.
You're in Willie Mullins' yard. 10 entries, looks like 8 of them will certainly get in. Obviously, I Am Maximus to start. Is he £8 higher than last year?
He is. Probably a similar kind of horse, 167, 11, 12, and I guess that kind of sets the race because it is his target, so the weights are what they're going to be, but he has to be as good, maybe a little bit better than he was last year. He's going to run the Bobby Joe in this weekend, no, probably the weekend after, but look, he seems to be coming forward, but it's a big ask, and I don't know. He won one well handicapped, but to be a national great, he has to carry a weight and win a second.
Nick Rocket, I think, it's a big player.
He is, but he has the penalty from the Taestes. You know, that could make it a little bit harder for him, but same for Glen Clare West, who needs another run to qualify. But look, they both have plenty of weight. Would you really think either have a bit up their sleeve? I'm not so sure they do.
Is there lots of up their sleeve? No.
Not too many. I know the way you're thinking jumps out at me anyway as one that could have the potential to be well handicapped. I thought Iroko being the same, both JPs. I think Broadway Boy is unexposed at a huge price. I know Paul is sweet and can-do kid. I'm not certain he's a glutton to stay. I thought maybe if he could get a spark out of Stay Away Faye again, he could be a huge price.
2 years ago, you're thinking he'd been mailed on for a Gold Cup or a national.
Yeah, Albert Barclay winner. I just think there could be, if there's a spark in a horse, there could be an in. But there's loads of horses down when you keep looking, and time will tell as to what gets into form by April. But look, it's a great race, and it looks really competitive.
Good stuff. Good to catch up.
And you, Niall.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.